Hello everyone, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and today we are going to be playing the deck that came in 4th at Euros, and we are going to see how we do. We just get everything set up here for the streaming, and let's get it together. Play some of that green Jawn. Morning, Jake. So, what we're looking at here is that we got compile as another way to trigger Haley's ability and a way to retrieve reusable programs. Hopefully we'll get an opponent in a second here. Alright, let's do it. Alright, this is a good hand. We keep it. Come here. Nope. Can't get on my keyboard though. Alright, so let's sure gamble twice. Let's check HQ while it's open. Okay. And let's put down professional contacts. Don't tell Smoke, but I really do think Haley is probably my favorite Shaper ID of all time. Draw once more. We need to focus on setup more than anything else. Gotta establish that lock, baby. Baby! Just get snuggly, man. I'm here for you. I'm here for the snuggle business. Did I say good luck, have fun? Yes, okay. Sometimes I get focused on the channel and I forget, so it's important. Alright, we gotta get some programs down, so we're gonna get this Parisia and this cash down. Then we gotta ditch something. We probably are gonna want to rip Fem out of the trash with Compile, so we can ditch that. Hey, Pink Warrior, good morning. We're getting rich. Alright. There we go, baby. Alright, Astrolabe might not ever come up this game, so we'll wait for the second one to come through. Alright, so this is going to be our first use of Compile. So, let's draw. Let's draw once more. and let's compile into server 1. So that's a sentry. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to click compile. We're going to go into our stack and we're going to get Brahmin. We're going to piggyback Degdir. So now what we can do is we can match the strength and then put Parisia back on the top of the deck. So now Brahmin goes back into the deck for us to find later and put onto this Degdir. Isn't that just so cool? I think that's super cool. So the Parisias become fuel for Brahmin. Now, if they had res the other ice there, what we would have done is we would have actually put Brahmin back so that we could draw into it and put it on the Degdir. But yeah, we're in Lock City. We're just going to lock it up. Morning, Raven. So let's go ahead and pawn this Jawn. Good morning, James. Don't you sneeze in my mouth, Balder. Alright. So I'd like to get one more turn. Actually, we really need to know what that upgrade is. We have some junk in our hands right now, but I really don't want to lose the legwork. So let's draw once. Let's draw again. Okay, so we're going to put these two down because now I have the ability to recur, and then we're going to fire this net ready, guys. And we lost legwork and clot, so not unsurprising, but net ready eyes is a huge value with Brahmin. Brahmin noodles, that should have been the name of this deck. So the compile searches stack or heap for a program, installs it. If it's still installed at the end of the run, it gets put at the bottom of the deck. So you use it with things like Brahmin to tutor it, and then you can put Brahmin back onto the top of the deck using its own ability. Or in this case, you can use it to create like a never-ending David, because that you use all the counters on David to just put it back on the deck. All right. Let's hit in there. All right. We'll put the cash back on. Oh, I can't put cash back on. Shit. Brahmin says non-viruses because otherwise it would combo really well with all the cheap garbage. Okay. All right. Let's draw. Andy was a huge factor, Raven, because starting with 9 cards when criminals had all of the run-based economy meant that it was more or less impossible to you always got set up as Andy. Like, you always got set up as Andy, and once you did, you were making money back for any 2-ice server, especially when Temujin was in play. So because of that, for a long time, criminals just weren't able to get any card that was a significant power boost to them. So now we've just got Brahmin fuel all over the place, so we can run and check anywhere. I want to check these upgrades on HQ next turn. So let's draw a card. Let's get into HQ. It's the same reason why we're actually starting to see viruses get printed again. Because Noise's ability plus any non-blank virus just increase the power of mill strategies. Oh, it's a Stinson. We'll just get rid of that so I don't have to even think about it later. Let's check R&D. I love this deck. The link, let me get the link in there for the Twitch people. It's really fun. How about 2 credits to break a a Fairchild 2. That seems good. Tempest. Ow. I don't know what it does, but I'll beat the trace. Let's check archives. I'm actually gonna pawn misdirection. Let's put down imp. Go into HQ. Just building this Brahmin train. Imp's also a very strong card here, because we can also bring that back with compile and piggyback things out of our hands if we want to. I'm starting to think that these fan sites may not come up. But I don't want to pawn them. Thanks, Pop Detective. I guess we should probably go for an indexing and try to close as quickly as we can. There's more or less no pressure on us. I'm fairly to extremely certain they're not on any kind of active kill. So actually, we are gonna pawn one of these. Let's say a Parisia. We're going to compile into HQ. We're gonna go get David. We will not piggyback anything from our grip. And we'll just break it. We spent 2 to get a David while running, and it's going to go back into the deck. We'll match the strength of Zed. We'll put this Parisia back on the top. We'll get in. We'll beat this trace. We'll steal. And then David goes back in to be used another time. And we'll just put the Parisia back down. Ta-da! No server is safe. Alright, next turn we're just going to index and try to end this. Because I'm not a jerk. I'm not trying to just keep this going forever. You know? Let's put that on R&D. We can always pawn it. Let's index. Alright, so there's more than enough to win there. So let's go back in. Yeah, it's good. This is a pretty good opener. But not a great one. We'd prefer Brahmin to be in the deck, and we'd prefer to have Proco over Aesop's in the opener. So we're gonna mulligan this, because this is like a C- hand. We got a worse hand, but we reap what we sow. Don't we, Balder? My little per machine baby here. He's just laying with his arms crossed on my hand, because his mission in life is to take up as much space as physically possible. We really do not have good piggyback targets. I really don't want to lose the Deg Deer, so we'll eat it. Hey Ratsuka, it's going. We just won our first game. Or was that game 2? No, that was game 1. And now we're on game 2. We have not a very strong hand, so we got to be a little bit more careful, especially since we're up against Building a Better World, where they got lots of money. To that end, I want to at least get to 6 credits next turn, so we don't have to worry about Stinson. Because if they're on some sort of levy deck, they may be on some sort of Sandberg lockout play. So let's talk about how our top priorities here. Our top priority is staying above 6 credits. Oh, nope, too big. Our top priority is staying above 6 credits. And finding Proco. Now we have compile, so we do have we have remote threat, right? People tending to lean on code gates for the remotes. So we compile, we find Brahmin or something else that we can use, and then we piggyback Cypher onto it to cover code gates in the remote. So we have remote threat. Do we try to contest that? We could certainly try. Alright. So, when people have expensive ice, they get this sense that you're probably running David's. So in that case, our opponent just let compile be an inside job. Let's do it again. That is a ghost branch. It's 2 credits. Alright, if they are on some sort of tagging play, assuming we don't just get hard-hitting news to oblivion here, we're going to drop the cash and the imp and hit HQ to try to clear out some of their cards. Ghost branch. Here on this branch of ghosts. Oh yeah, trash that Data Raven. Get rid of that. Can't have that. Oh, nice. Okay. So let's hit HQ. Use our last imp counter before it gets thrown into the dust. We have bad pub, so we'll use bad pub to trash that. Let's go in again. Trash that. Then draw a card. Then gain a buck. Compiling window. Yeah, that's S tier jank and like Z tier netrunner. Trash tier netrunner. But yeah, no, like there's some interesting, like that's the thing that I've always loved about the Shaper. The Shaper faction is a lot of times there's really janky combos that are like fringe cases, or sometimes they really work in like a specific meta, and then like the second people know about them, they get a lot worse. But like the thing I love the most about Shaper is sometimes you stumble upon things that are just really, really insane. Like when I made the MK Ultra Black Orchestra Chameleon Haley deck, this is before Scorpios came out, that used Sahasrara to just keep reinstalling them onto oh crap, Scheherazade, so I'd get money, get technical writer counters, piggyback something on them as I installed them from the bin for no clicks, and then run, and I was playing LLDS processor, and I thought that that deck was going to be utter garbage, and it ended up actually being really good, and I was just dominating. I took down like a GN key, which was the only thing going on at that time, and like once I got set up, I would just be sitting on like 60 credits, and I'd be using 5 strength chameleon or 6 strength chameleons to break everything, and so it wasn't costing me any money to get in anywhere, and I just had a never-ending Reaver draw because every turn I would pawn MK Ultra and reinstall it. We really need a draw card. Yay! But I remember that deck, I had Hunting Grounds, and I had Toll Booth. Or I had Hunting Grounds against 2 Toll Booths on a remote. I put down 2 Chameleons for free. Gained $2 off of Scheherazade. They were at 6 strength. Ran, Hunting Grounds 1, took the other one. So I spent a total of 3 credits to break 2 Toll Booths, while also putting 2 credits on 3 different technical writers. So banking 6 credits for the future. And I think that was against somebody in the Ghost branch, and they were just like, we don't need to continue from here. Today is my daughter's last day of her first year of preschool. She had an existential crisis about not wanting to leave her teacher that she loves very much, which is one of the funniest things about having a child is there's all these things that you really empathize with them about that are still hilarious, and you feel like a monster for laughing, but it's just still really funny. And I have those types of moments a lot because, yeah, obviously you empathize with a kid, has no frame of reference, they get very attached to teachers, they don't realize that they're going to have a minimum of, you know, like three dozen of them over the course of their lives. You know, everything is relative to their experience. Alright. Have we really not even seen any sure gambles? What is life right now? This bad pub is so bad for them, but they're new, so we're not gonna come down on them too hard. Alright, let's go compile our way in there. Let's just go get a cache, which I'll use to do that. And then we'll just break that. Shape of bullshit. Now, if this is a ghost branch, we can go get the misdirection with the self-modifying code. Okay, it's not. So there, we got to use cache, take all the counters off of it, and then throw it back, and it still gets to get used. But we used it just to get the hand trigger for Haley. Balder, you're being very, very good today. I really appreciate it. He's just laying here, snuggling, hugging my arm, and licking. We're not gonna beat the trace because we don't care to. Let's draw. Didn't get anything interesting. That's fine. We're not gonna piggyback anything. Oh, you're slipping. Stay up here, buddy. Because when you get scared, I get very badly hurt. Let's put Astrolabe down, since we have an off turn where we don't really need to do anything. Sometimes I do feel bad when I play these types of end up playing these types of convoluted shaper decks against new players. All right, so here is what we're going to do. Ooh, exciting. So we're gonna put Brahmin down. Next turn, we're going to go for the indexing. Yeah, I mean, it's completely fine as long as people are patient with themselves and their opponents, I would say. Yeah, I'm not falling for that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's click this once. Let's get fan site down so we have a hedge. Let's see if we can end this with an indexing. And if that is an agenda, we'll get another fan site counter. Shadow. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. One credit to break shadow. Now this deck doesn't have Mad Dash because it's, wow, that's a lot of money cards. I feel like that's a Ghost Branch, and they don't have any money anyway. So, but Ghost Branch is a trap that they can fire, even if they don't have any money. Oh, excuse you. I think it's wild that we still haven't seen Aesop's Pawn Shop. Yeah, that was a trap. Spicy in the bin. We got some imps. We got 2 compiles. Alright, so they advance it one more time. But I just don't care. I ain't running your trap. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about this deck is we can just kind of like hold the line forever. Like we have no need to go fast. Let's legwork. Oh, their archives. There's a Data Raven, some hard-hitting news, Jawn. There's an Archer. That's exciting. I mean, we'll match it. We're rich. We'll put Parisia back on the top. And in we go. Oh, the Memug. Yeah, it's pretty good. Data Raven. Boom, we'll get rid of that. The cleaners, that's game. Good game. Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna... This deck's a little slow, so I don't think we're gonna have enough time for another one today. I would like to take a look at this deck because I think a lot of times Shaper decks are highly meta specific. And actually, let me actually leave because a lot of times when I don't actually leave, people come in and talk, and then I look really rude because I'm not responding to them. All right, Let me move my head just ever so slightly here. Okay, so here's my thought. These types of like Haley lock decks are often highly meta specific, and the last pack was not legal for this because this was at Euros, which is a premier level event where you get like the 2 weeks grace period when a new pack comes out. So let's talk about how this deck might change now that new cards are out, both Corp and Runner side. I really love the 2x pile. We're already at 46 cards, which is, you know, like a cardinal sin as far as certain people are concerned. I would really love to get a third, but man, there's just no slots available in here. We're not running Tapworm, so hypothetically we could cut a Sakon for it. Also, I found myself not using Artist Colony very much, so that's a possible cut. What do y'all think? Degdeer feels slightly like icing. Though if you get it down early, it's not bad for cash. Oh, consume? The only issue with consume is 5 influence for 1 copy. That is definitely an awesome include. Oh no, the other one. What other one? The one that just came out in the pack? Let me take a look. Give me a sec. Apex. Apex. I'm looking for it. I'll be honest with you, I don't use a lot of Apex's cards. The Assimilator? I don't know what card you're talking about. The only one that I can think of that's 0 cost that came out recently is Consume. Oh, Wasteland. Oh, Harbinger. Oh, yeah, that is definitely an idea. Harbinger. I'm sorry, I was confused. I thought you were talking about a newer card. Cash is better because it gives us burst economy. The other thing is if we ever pawn a cash, we can't put it back into the deck. I mean, we can't put this back in the deck either, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this deck a lot. Like, a lot. And Clot's really friggin' good right now. A feedback filter might not be terrible. I would say, depending on meta, a feedback filter might be a hot swap for the net ready eyes, because, yeah, like, it's really good to have Brahmin at 4 instead of 3, but, like, we're sitting on a huge throne of money, so it doesn't necessarily matter. I don't know. We went 4-0, so... Or 2-0. The deck has gone 4-0 since I picked it up. But yeah, it's good. This deck's really good. I love it. Doesn't have a great matchup against Scorpios. It's not unwinnable, but it's certainly very hard. But nobody has a good matchup against Scorpios. You just hope basically to dodge them in Swiss. Now, throwing in a 1 of Lamb is definitely a case for Degdeer. But I think the focus of this deck is not high value programs, but the programs that have counters on them, like David and Lady, which are disproportionately powerful because you're only supposed to get limited use out of them, and then you just use them over and over and over again. Oh yeah, we don't have currents. Who needs currents? Yeah, I mean, this deck apparently did very well at Euros, took 4th, and let me take a look at the list, actually. I can't remember what the actual record of it was. Fourth at Euros, 13 and 3 across 2 tournaments. That's really, really, really good. Now the thing is people aren't really on scarcity spam anymore. If you're against Titan, very important. If you are, it's really, I think what we're really getting into here is the slots are very meta dependent, right? Like this is built for, you know, in the deck write-up, the person knew that they were going to be fighting against a ton of Titan, Scorpios, and Argus, right? So they've got Satcon to deal with Hunter Seeker. They've got Clot with triple Satcon for Titan. They've got a lot of ways to cheat their way into servers. And then as far as like Argus is concerned, like this deck's super duper rich and can very easily remote lock and just basically steal one agenda a turn. Yeah. I don't know, I think it's really solid. I would say what I would do, the Dan Spinoza edits, is I would cut the net ready eyes for feedback filter. I would cut the artist colony probably first for a 3rd copy of compile. Now keep in mind I didn't win or do well in any major tournament with this, so grains of salts, kids. And then, depending on meta, I might cut a single Satcon for a copy of Interdiction. It's not just... Okay, so Compile is really good. Because of the interaction with things like David. And it doesn't work with Fem anyway. It does if there's an ice behind whatever. But anyway, the main reason you use something like Compile is it lets you get anything, right? And it's a very cheap way to tutor. It's much cheaper than SMC, for example, because with SMC, you still have to pay the full install cost of the program. So the idea with this deck is that you can compile for something like Brahmin or David, piggyback something else out of it, like a Parisia or Cash, what have you, get multiple programs down. And then you can use Brahmin, put the Parisia back into the deck, and then Brahmin just goes back into the deck and you didn't even pay the full install cost. If you're up against a CI and they're on Fairchild 3, you can compile into a server, they res Fairchild 3, you go get David, use up all the counters, oh man, my David's got no more counters, end of the run, it goes back into the deck. So you get the ability to tutor it again with another compile or another SMC. Same thing with Lady. People are playing a lot of Spiderweb, a lot of Tithonium. Oh, let me just break it for $2 and 2 counters, and then just put Lady back into the deck to basically bypass that ice again. You don't have to keep it. The whole idea is you use Compile to get like a counter-based program out for free, use it, put it back in the deck, and you piggyback something like Brahmin, Degdeer, or Imp that wants to stay, or Cyber Cypher that wants to stay on the board longer, out when you do it at a reduced cost. Right, or you can just use it with Brahmin, and then when you break with Brahmin, bounce it to the top of your deck, so then you can draw it and install it. The other thing is once things are in the trash, Compile can pull David's back out of the trash. So if you do have to hard install one, you can, you ASOPs it out, you can then pull it back into your board state with Compile and then shuffle it back into the deck. And it's like having access to it all over again. Oh yeah, no. Compile is not a universal card. Compile's not a universal card. It is a Haley bullshit card. Like, it is a card specifically designed for Haley's, to be maximized with Haley's ID ability. Compile's not an everybody shaper cards. Shapers that want to set up their programs and then just start, like, getting money. Compile might be good as, like, their replacement for Inside Job. Like, you remember how Andy used to run like 1 or 2 inside jobs as just a, oh shit, I'm not set up yet, I need to get into the server right now. Compile could fill that role for like a Kit or a Smoke, where it's just like, oh my god, they're rushing so fast, I just need to be able to contest this. You hit it, whatever they res, you go get the appropriate program and you get in, and then you go back into setup mode. Yeah. The other thing is, oh, they do work well with that. But yeah, I think Ken Tenma, well, right, and you can always just not res ice. But against something like this, if you don't res ice, I'm just gonna walk all over you, and I'm just gonna keep setting up. So that's fine. But yeah, anyway, I gotta run to work. I love all of you. If you can, make sure that you jump on the Twitch and you follow if you don't already, and you can also subscribe. If you've got Amazon Prime, it's free, and support the channel. A lot of lighting equipment purchased this year to try to make it so we have like a no glare, super well lit setup for our tournaments. So all of that was made possible by the monetary donations of viewers like you. And I'm gonna probably do a Corp tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what I'm feeling just yet, but I hope you all have a great Wednesday. And until I see all of you fine Netrunner humans again, always be running.